Alright you guys, today I'm going to absolutely blow your minds. I figured out the ultimate hack on how to get a catamaran like this for free. That's right, $0 and zero expenses, all yours. So if you're tired of working or paying bills, doing anything even remotely reasonable, this is the video for you. Now you'll always hear naysayers in life telling you that you have to work hard for everything, but this video is going to show you that's not the case. You can have everything you wanted for free. Just follow these simple steps each way through. So step number one now is going to be finding the right catamaran. There's no place better to go to find your perfect free catamaran than a marina, preferably an upper class and rich marina. There's lots of them in the south of France, maybe Florida. Just walk around and look for a catamaran that hasn't been used a little bit. Billionaires and millionaires will buy catamarans and just completely forget about them. So if you can hop on one of those, it could probably be yours for free. For these rich people, losing a catamaran is like losing a sock in the dryer, just this sock happens to be a 45-foot floating condo. Now here's where things get crazy. Recently I discovered a very little known maritime law and loophole. Since Catamaran was clearly made by pirates back in the day, but the law persisted even till now. And what it states is that if you can stay on a catamaran for at least 3 days and 3 nights, and at sunrise and sunset blow a conch horn, you will legally own the boat. It is yours. It is effectively a finder's keeper's law. It just has still permeated the modern legal system, and it could all be yours. This and a few other the laws I'll talk about in this video are what lend credence to the phrase, possession is 9/10 of the law, as it exists today in the modern superior court system. Step number 4, and in my opinion the most effective step in this entire program to getting your free catamaran, is manifesting it. Manifesting has been proven to be successful in every venture, so why not your own catamaran? What you really want to do is you want to sit there and you want to, and it's important to think about the exact brand you want to. Personally, I really like leopards, so I'm not going to be thinking about a Lagoon, I'm not going to think about a Fontaine Pajot or a Balil or any of those other types of catamarans out there. I'm going to focus on it and I'm going to imagine not just me getting the free catamaran, but me just having it. You know, not even the process of just getting onto the boat, but just being there at the helm. And the more you do this day by day, just life will align itself so you get the free catamaran, and it might even do it in ways not found in these steps here. If that does happen, please make sure you comment below what happened when you manifested the catamaran. The meditation you go through and the believing that you already have this catamaran will bend reality to your will. Step number 5 is a little bit more straightforward than manifesting. You're going to search the free section on Craigslist. So believe it or not, there's a lot of catamarans that are just there for free on Craigslist. People don't want the headaches. They're not sure if it was the bow thruster or if it was the left screw drive or the right screw drive. They're not sure if it has a mizzen mast or not. It's just too much for them. So what do? They put it at the free section on Craigslist for you. Now you do got to be quick on these. I've seen some of these go in as soon as just a week, and one of them went as soon as just 4 days. So you really got to be on top of Craigslist, making sure you get immediately on those free deals. But with the right timing, persistence, and patience, you will find a free catamaran on Craigslist. It's a guarantee. But also be sure to check back on my channel because I'll post whenever there's a free catamaran. For that, I recommend checking my channel at least every hour. Step number 6 is offering to inherit a headache. It's similar to the Craigslist one, but this one gets you ahead of the line. So again, people are already thinking about all the troubles they're having with their catamaran. They're already miserable at life, so they're thinking, what do we do? But now they think, who's that lovely person that already contacted me and just offered, hey, if you ever need, I'll be there for you. You want to reassure the person that you'll make it, relatively stress-free for them to give you your catamaran. Make sure you tell them that you'll at least split the broker fee when they give you the catamaran. It's a really nice gesture. They're going to be going through a lot, so you want to make sure that you're there for them. Obviously, finding these people can be a little bit difficult. I find just going to marinas and just telling people directly, hey, buddy, I'm here for you. When you're ready to get rid of that piece of crap, I'll take it off your hands. And piece of crap is a very loose term nowadays, so a lot of people would call a 45-foot lagoon a piece of crap, but let's just be honest. Because really, you're avoiding all the maintenance headaches, the sailing headaches, not to mention dock fees. You're really doing them a favor. So make sure you are ready to accept some of their gratitude when they give you the catamaran. Now, step 6 is a great one because you get multiple free things with it, and it's simply marry into a catamaran. Now, believe it or not, there's a lot of very young, very attractive women out there that are also very single, and they have large catamarans, and they're a bit desperate sometimes. So you'll have to sort through which one you want. Sometimes it's a brunette or a blonde, and I know nobody wants a redhead, that's for sure. Redhead on a catamaran's a bad deal, so I'd really suggest avoiding those ones. But to get that free catamaran, you're gonna marry your way into there and then make sure there's no prenuptial agreement. Now, some of these women that own these catamarans can be pretty smart about this, so they may suggest a prenup, but remember to ask questions like, but if we love each other, why do we need it? And, well, wouldn't you want me to have the catamaran if we ever were to divorce or you were to die suddenly at sea randomly? These are all excellent questions to bring to the table, and that little bit of hard to get should certainly entice them for you. Now, step 8 is one many more of us are familiar with. It's the borrow forever tactic. For this, you just want to ask somebody if you can borrow their catamaran. They should say yes to this. It's a reasonable request. And you just keep borrowing the catamaran. You may get some phone calls from them, but they're probably fine. I wouldn't worry about that. But the key here is to just keep borrowing. I know some of you aren't happy with this answer. I can see how it conflicts and it makes this video seem like clickbait, and I do apologize for that because it did say a free catamaran and you don't technically own it, you're just borrowing it forever. But, sometimes you have to pick, the lesser of two evils, and this might be the best option, especially if you don't want to marry into a catamaran or if manifesting is just proving to be too much. I think that step number 8 here is a really good option for you. Now, step number 11 is trade something weird. Now, again, I know this really conflicts with the title of the video, but if you're clever, you can do it for almost nothing. So it cost me about $5 to print out this real treasure map. Now, this real treasure map details exactly where to go to get untold riches, far exceeding the value of some measly catamaran. And so, for example, even now, I am potentially ready to trade this for, I would say, nothing short of a 45-foot leopard would be ideal, but I would also consider a 55-foot lagoon. And things like this can be made online, they can be made up by hand, anything really. Just make sure the person that you're trying to barter this with doesn't know that you've made it. And again, if you're interested in trading for this map, please reach me anywhere on any of my sites. All right, number 12 is a really good option, but it helps if you have some cameras ahead of time. So this is great if you're one of those, bum, good-for-nothing sailing YouTubers. This option is excellent for you. It's pretend to be filming a documentary. The key to this is telling them that you want to do something stupid, like a 100-day off-grid challenge with a catamaran. Now, obviously we know there's no reason to do that. It's a floating condo, what's the point? But they might not know that, and this might also lend itself to the forever borrow. But instead, you are forever documenting. Once you reach your 100-day mark, why not go for 200, 300? It's just gonna be an ongoing thing. So the trick there is just to, seem like you're getting some footage, take a few photos of you and your family that have come for vacation, having a nice steak dinner on the boat. Don't mind the questions they're gonna ask about that later, it's not important. But the key here is just seem like you're gonna do a nice documentary. Plus, they might get some nice photos of their boat. So again, it's a great option to get on a catamaran and just really have it forever. All right, and step 5 is avoiding legal issues. Now, for some reason, you may find yourself having difficulty after exploring some of these great options that I've given you. But if that is the case, there's an ancient sailor technique known as sailing really fast. And if you do this, you are very likely to just keep enjoying that free catamaran that really you deserve, let's be honest. Now, it's a known fact that authorities don't like chasing people over water, so you already have that benefit. For this though, you are going to have to avoid going to marinas, which may be difficult because you might want to hook up the catamaran, have electricity, run the air conditioner. This will of course bring you back to documenting the off-grid challenge, so that might help you somewhere along the lines there. And of course, if an authority does happen to catch up with you, be sure to speak in a very unintelligible accent and maybe reference something about Captain Jack Sparrow being your long-lost aunt or uncle. This could really help your case. And honestly, again, manifest just not getting caught. That is the key, and it's worked for tons of criminals in the past. And that's it. That's how to get a catamaran for absolutely free. No money, no problems, just pure adventure. Hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and check today's date. And remember, don't use your one phone call to contact me if things go south while you're up north. I won't answer, and I'm not liable. Cheers! I wonder how much of this somebody's gonna believe. All right. Now here's where things get crazy. There's a little known international maritime law known as I can't do it's so hard. A lot of people would call a 45-foot lagoon a piece of crap. Let's just be honest. I'm gonna get so much for this. All right, what else do I got?